A simple pattern defines the rise and fall of civilizations. When gold doubles, empires crumble. It's not myth or coincidence. It's a mathematical signature collapse, a signal that has appeared in every major downfall across history. While most people get distracted by the chaos that follows, they miss the real event, the largest transfer of wealth humanity ever witnesses. And once this transfer begins, it is unstoppable. The truth is that more fortunes are created in the collapse of an empire than during its rise, but only for the few who understand the blueprint, because within this blueprint lies a mechanism, hidden in plain sight, that separates those who get erased from those who emerge with generational wealth. It's a mechanism built by the powerful, for the powerful, and it runs on one simple principle: the destruction of your money. They tell you money is complicated. Interest rates, policy tools, inflation targets. That's the cover story. The reality is brutally simple. When governments run out of money, they don't stop spending. They create more currency out of nothing. Every new unit dilutes the savings of ordinary people. It's an invisible tax, a quiet extraction, and a fatal flaw that ends every empire. And the only thing that reveals this theft, the one honest measurement across time, is gold. Gold doesn't change. The currencies measured against it do. When gold rises, it isn't gold moving, it's a currency collapsing. To understand what's coming now, you need to see the blueprint. You need to travel backward, through centuries, to watch the pattern play out exactly the same way every time. We start with Rome, whose monetary decay set the template for every empire afterward. Rome's backbone wasn't gold but silver, embodied in the denarius. Introduced around 211 BC, 95% pure silver, a trustworthy coin for nearly 300 years. But no empire resists temptation forever. Nero clipped it to 90%. Trajan brought it to 85%. Commodus pushed it towards 70%. By the Ming Dynasty, it was barely 50% silver, double the coins in the same metal, double the hidden tax. Then came the breaking point, the crisis of the 3rd century. By 250 AD, the denarius contained under 5% silver, a silver-washed copper slug pretending to be money. Soldiers refused it and demanded gold instead. Prices exploded more than 1,000%. A single gold coin, once worth 25 denarii, became worth thousands, then millions. Not because gold changed, but because the currency disintegrated. And as the rule predicts, the empire followed. 26 emperors in 50 years, most murdered. Trade broke. Taxes soared. Barter returned. Rome had written the first chapter of the monetary blueprint. Centuries later, Spain repeated it. In the 1500s, Spain owned more gold and silver than any empire. Treasure fleets, the mountain of Potosi, oceans of bullion. They believed they found a cheat code, buy the world instead of building it. But flooding an economy with new money without increasing real output ignites massive inflation. Prices quadrupled. Still, Spain outspent itself, wars, debts, more promises than its silver could support. Default in 1557, then 1575, 1596, 1607, for national bankruptcies in 50 years. Eventually they turned to debasement, issuing copper coins and declaring them equal to silver. But markets don't obey decrees. Gold and silver doubled against a fake currency. Those with real assets survived. Those with wages and savings were wiped out. And Spain, drowning in its own money, collapsed as Britain and the Dutch overtook it. Gold didn't rise. Spain's credibility died. Moved to the Ming Dynasty, the world's most advanced economy at the time. Thinking they could outsmart reality, they replaced metal with paper, the Great Ming Treasure Note. It wasn't backed by silver or gold. It was backed by government promises. And like every empire before them, they printed endlessly. The paper collapsed by more than 99%. The people rejected it. Silver became the real money again, voluntarily. Eventually, silver inflows dried up as Japan closed its borders and Spain declined. Silver tripled, then quadrupled against copper. Peasants earned in copper but owed taxes in scarce silver, an impossible trap. The resulting rebellion toppled the dynasty in 1644. The blueprint held. The moment the hard asset doubles, The empire's end begins. We jump to the 1900s. Britain ruled the planet, its pound backed by gold. But World War I forced suspension of the gold standard. Money printing followed. World War II pushed Britain to the brink, leaving it dependent on American loans. In 1944, Bretton Woods crowned the dollar, not the pound, as the new reserve currency. Britain pretended its currency was stronger than it was. The market disagreed. In 1949, Britain devalued the pound by 30% overnight. Because the dollar was tied to gold, gold's value in pounds surged instantly. It was a public acknowledgement that Britain's financial empire was finished. The blueprint repeated again. Then came the United States. After World War II, the dollar became the anchor of the world at $35 per ounce of gold. But the U.S. government overspent. Vietnam, domestic programs, global military commitments. Funded by printing dollars, it didn't have the gold to back. Foreign nations noticed. France led the charge demanding gold in exchange for dollars, draining U.S. reserves. By 1971, the U.S. faced a full-scale run on its gold. Nixon responded by severing gold convertibility altogether. Overnight, the global monetary system became pure fiat, money backed by nothing. Gold doubled again, then soared to $800 by 1980. It was a signal, the beginning of the dollar's long decline. Since then, the U.S. has printed more aggressively than any empire in history. After 2008, after the wars, after unprecedented printing in the 2020s, faith in fiat is eroding. People feel the debasement, even if they can't explain it. And right on cue, a solution appears: Bitcoin, a digital savior with no face, no creator, dependent entirely on infrastructure controlled by governments. It requires electricity, internet, exchanges, all of which can be shut off, taxed, frozen, or outlawed. They don't need to hack Bitcoin. They only need to disable its bridges to the real world. It is the perfect trap for those who sense collapse but don't understand the blueprint. So what is the real arc? The same one used by the richest families for 5,000 years: gold, silver, and tangible assets. While the masses are steered toward digital illusions, central banks themselves are buying physical gold in record amounts, repatriating it, securing it. They're not buying tokens. They're not trusting code. They're accumulating the one asset that has survived every empire's fall. Gold preserves wealth. Silver enables trade. Real land and real materials sustain civilizations. The coming wealth transfer isn't about chasing the next digital miracle. It's about moving out of paper promises and into real value. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. Gold has doubled. The blueprint is active. The signal has already flashed. The only remaining question is whether you will stand with those who understand the pattern, or with those who always end up holding the worthless currency of a dying empire.